Hello, I'm Bri Grills, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my most favourite films of all time, ever, film-wise, and that is Double Impact, starring the legendary Jean-Claude Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels, Van Dammage, my favourite martial arts action star. He is the absolute best, the greatest of all time. Absolutely love Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, while I'm banging on about, Van Damme and Double Impact, I'll make a cup of coffee. Now, Double Impact, 1991, stars Jean-Claude Van Damme, no, I didn't stutter, and Geoffrey Lewis and the rest of the cast. Geoffrey Lewis played Orville in the Any Which Way You Can and Any Which Way But Loose with the legendary Clint Eastwood. This is the sort of pedigree we're talking about. So I've got to keep looking away because the camera setup is slightly different today. It is slightly different because of different factors beyond my control. But you can still see me making a cup of coffee and doing up the Jetboil burn up with one hand. Look at that. So Double Impact. So we start off the film in Hong Kong at the Victoria Harbour Tunnel. Now I've got my bottle of Tapaline in a Volvic bottle, reusing it of course. We start off at the Victoria Harbour Tunnel, which now the characters, the main characters are, so Jean-Claude Van Damme plays twins. He plays twins, and he plays the twins, baby twins, little babies that are called Chad and Alex. And it's Chad and Alex's dad that has helped finance. I've got to remove all these coffees. I picked up a few. Chad and Alex's dad has helped to finance the building and construction of the Victoria Harbour Tunnel. What he doesn't know, of course, is that one of the partners in the project got a secret loan from a sort of, the Chinese mafia, effectively. So he's got this loan, secret loan, and Mr. Wagner, that's Chad and Alex's dad, doesn't know about this, you see. He doesn't know what's coming. So I've just got to adjust the lid of the Jetboil before all the gas burns away. They do the ceremony where they name the Victoria Harbour Tunnel. They crack a bottle of champagne, and so on and so on. And then when Mr. Wagner and his family, his young family, his wife, a nanny, and the two twin boys are making their way home, Uncle Frankie, who's played by the legendary, and I do mean legendary, Geoffrey Lewis. So they part ways. Uncle Frankie gets the night off. Mr. Wagner goes home to be greeted by the gangsters that want to erase him. Basically, they want to get rid of Mr. and Mrs. Wagner, the nanny, the babies. Who cares? They're going all out, right? So, but somehow, despite Mr. Wagner's heroic effort to fend off the baddies, he's unsuccessful, and he gets fatally shot and killed. And then Mrs. Wagner, she runs out and she gets executed as well. It's not very good. What's the fella's name? Bolo Yeung. He's in it. He's in the film. The physique this man has got is just off the scale. The water's boiling. I've got my super manly masculine Paw Patrol beaker. So Bolo Yeung, his physique, you've got to see it to believe it. It is just something else. It is next level. Hench would be the word that the kids use today. So he puts the final shot into Mrs. Wagner. Meanwhile, the nanny escapes with one of the twins. She's gone. Nanny's gone. Meanwhile, Uncle Frankie's come back to the rescue, and because he's heard about it on the CB, and he's come back. He's riding into the rescue, but he's too late to save Mr. and Mrs. Wagner. The nanny's already gone with Alex, so he decides all he can do is save Chad. He scoops him up in his arms, makes a break for it. Bolo Yeung's character, I'm sure his name is Moon. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The big Chinese dude, and he is gargantuan. He has got one hell of a physique. I tell you what, he has spent years in the gym perfecting it. Anyway, so he puts a shot in Uncle Frankie's shoulder. Uncle Frankie's like, oh, that hurt, but no, it doesn't matter. And so he legs it. Meanwhile, Alex has been dropped off at an orphanage by the nanny. She's like, yeah, I don't need this problem in my life. I'll just find another rich family to look after. So she bins off Alex at the orphanage. Uncle Frankie takes Chad to Europe, which explains Chad's his accent later on, because as we all know, Jean-Claude Van Damme is Belgian and he's the muscles from Brussels, so he's got to explain. So then we fast forward a quarter of a century, 25 years. Let's turn this water off because that's boiling. I don't know how good the jet boil angle is going to be on this one, but either way, I'm going to make myself a nice cup of coffee and I'm going to stir it. Despite my preparations today, I still feel a little bit, I don't know. Anyhow, so then we fast forward, and by now Chad and Frankie have made it to Los Angeles, and they run a karate dojo and a dance studio. And the first sighting we get of adult Chad is him doing the splits, and he's wearing tights, you know, because he's doing dance with these young ladies, and you know, and of course the ladies are all over it. They're like rats to cheese. So then we get then there's a bit of an action sequence in the karate dojo because there's a problem. So Chad is dispatched, and he says, "Look, I'm with these girls, you know," and all these girls are clearly gagging for it, you know, in their leotards and stuff. And Uncle Frankie says, "Get down there, come on, go sort that problem out." So he goes down there, kicks a fella in the face, wah, like you do, because these things can't just be resolved by chit chat. They have to be a kick in the face. And from what I read, all the guys you see get kicked in the face by Van Damme were actually genuinely kicked in the face. They were paid a bonus to be kicked in the face for real. Not a job I would want to do. 10 grand, kick me in the face. No. Anyway, so meanwhile, Uncle Frankie is in his office with this private detective from China, from Hong Kong, who's been scoping it all out. So then Frankie tells Chad that they're going to Hong Kong. You know, he says, "Look, I've raised you for 25 years like you're my own son. Would I have ever lied to you?" And he says, "No." And he says, "Well, would I lie to you now?" And he says, "Well, no." He says, "Right, we're going to Hong Kong then. Let's crack on." So anyway, move to Hong Kong, and there we encounter for the first time adult Alex, who's had a very different life to Chad's cosseted, coddled life in Europe and then Los Angeles. Alex has had a hard life. He's had a tough life. He's been an orphan, grown up on the mean streets of Hong Kong. He's had it tough. He's had it hard. He's done the hard yards, and he's not impressed when his his fancy Dan twin brother turns up, because Alex's girlfriend Danielle, she turns up. There's a bit of a mix-up because they are identical twins, and she thinks she's sort of, getting into it with Alex, and he's had a bit of a change in look, but she's not actually getting into it with Alex at all. She's getting into it with Chad, which irritates Alex. Irritates Alex ever so... I'm getting mixed up now. Irritates Alex ever so slightly, and there's a bosh, a dandruff salad coming your way. Wallop. So, I tell you what, let's turn that jet boil cam off, because we don't need that on. Anyway, so then Uncle Frankie steps in and he's sort of saying, no, turn it in. You know, Chad wakes up from his bump on the head, and then they get into discussing how they're brothers, they're twins, these are the parents, look at them, you know. What are we here for? Well, we're here to claim the Victoria Harbour Tunnel back because people are making money off it, and it was your parents, excuse me, that have paid the price. Your parents paid the price, and we want it back. I want to win it back for you. So then we fast forward to a scene on Alex's boat, because Alex is a smuggler and he smuggles all kinds of, you name it, everything. I don't think he's a drug smuggler though. In this particular scene he's got 2 Mercedes cars filled with cigarettes and cigars and all this brandy that is unavailable in Hong Kong at the time, and they're doing this deal, and you know, then the police show up, the boat police, the river police show up, and then they have to make a break for it, and then there's a gunfight and there's all this sort of thing, explosions, it's quality. So then Alex decides that maybe these guys from LA will make the grade, and we can go after Raymond Zhang and do you know, I've watched this film 1,000,000,000 times and I can't remember the fella's name. I'm going to have to consult my notes now, which I didn't want to be doing. Yeah, is Bolo Yeung that plays the enforcer. He's built like a tank, he is, and provides some of the film's best fight sequences. He does. It doesn't say who. I'm gonna have to Google this now while I'm filming. Double Impact. I didn't want to be doing this all to find out one fella's name. He's played by Alan Scarfe. He's played by Nigel Griffith, played by Alan Scarfe. He's one of them actors. He's got that really distinctive voice that you hear and you go, hang on a minute. That's so anyway, so Nigel Griffith, lost my thread now, I'm messing around with Google. Where were we? Yeah, so anyway, so Alex decides that maybe these guys from these soft, cosseted, coddled boys from LA can take on Raymond Zhang and Nigel Griffith. Now, Raymond Zhang is the leader of a powerful Chinese mafia family. You know, he's an important dude. And then there's a bit of a mix-up between Chad and Alex and stuff, where Raymond Zhang divulges certain information to Alex about a drug shipment he's got coming in, and you know, but of course it's Chad, not Alex. So then that gives them a bit of a clue, so they can disrupt Raymond Zhang's drug smuggling operation. Meanwhile, Danielle works for Nigel Griffith in the city, and she says, no, he's straight, he's clean, he's not dirty like that, he's not, you know, let's stir this coffee again. So we've got that to contend with. So Uncle Frankie is concerned that Danielle is going to tell Nigel Griffith, you know, so there's all this sort of subplot going on. So then they decide they're going to go away. They're going to go away to a deserted island, so they can strategize and work out how to tackle this Zhang Griffith problem with the Victoria Harbour Tunnel. Meanwhile, Danielle gets rumbled at the office by the security guard, a female security guard. I want to say it's Corey Everson, the former bodybuilder, athlete, woman, very impressive physique. Anyway, so Danielle gets busted, she gets tumbled. So then she phones Alex, but Alex is out in the woods, interestingly enough. He's out in the woods with Uncle Frankie, and they're getting logs for the fire. So Chad takes the boat. He's never driven a boat before, but he knows how to drive a boat. So he drives a boat into Hong Kong city centre, picks up Danielle. Then they're both thinking about how they like to get hold of each other, you know. But meanwhile, back at the island, Alex is picking this up. He's picking up this telepathic thought. He's thinking, "Oh, my brother's doing my bird. Oh, this is awful." So he gets more and more drunk, and then when they get back, there's a big fight between Chad and Alex, the two brothers, because Alex thinks that Chad wants to muscle in on his bird, and he's not having it, and he's not impressed, and there's a big fight breaks out. Anyway, so then we fast forward the next part of the film. We move forward. There's a big row in the house between the two brothers, Uncle Frankie, Danielle. She's, oh, what's going on? So then we fast forward to the security guard. Nigel Griffith's security guard has now found out where the twins are hiding. So they go and round them up, scoop them up. And then we move. I'm not doing the film justice. I would love to be able to stand here and be like Barry Norman and say, well, but the acting is really good. I know you say, oh, Van Damme, oh. But he plays twins. He's playing a dual role, which is hard. It's hard to direct. It's hard to produce. It's hard to manage. It's got to be hard to act. And the rest of the cast have got to remember who they're talking to. Am I talking to Chad or Alex or whatever? I mean, obviously Uncle Frankie looks completely different, so they've not got to worry about, oh, Uncle Frankie. So it's got to be quite hard to do. And how do I talk about the end of the film without spoiling it? Now, this film has been out since 1991, so 34 years, 2001, 2011, 21, 34 years. I've watched this film. I've bought it on DVD, of course. I had it on VHS cassette when I was a kid as well, when I was a teenager. So I've got it on DVD, and I've bought it on Prime as well. Now I know you go, oh, it's Van Damme, it's just another action film kicking people through windows and all that, but it's not. It's more than that. It's much more than just a bloke going around beating people up. There's sort of more to it. You've got this abandoned brother who feels abandoned. He feels let down. He's disappointed. He's got a cracking bird though, so he's not done too bad. So then you've got the two brothers. You've got the reuniting of the two brothers, but they don't see eye to eye. You see, because Chad has had an easy life. He's had a pretty cosseted life, really. He's been coddled. He's been looked after. And Alex is rightly resentful and jealous of this, you see, because he's had it tough. He's had his ass kicked every day of his life. So they sort of they don't see eye to eye, but eventually they go through this adversity of taking down the Zhang family and the corrupt Nigel Griffith, and they do overcome the odds. I can give away the ending. If you haven't seen that film by now, then that's totally on you. That's nothing to do with me. They overcome adversity. They defeat the Zhang family. Of course they do. You know all along that's what's going to happen. I won't give away the ins and outs of the ending, but they do overcome adversity together, and then that helps them to reunite back as brothers, and they've got their tunnel back somehow. I don't know how, but they do. So, it is a really, really, really good film. Bolo Yeung built like a tank. Jean-Claude Van Damme ripped to shreds. He is just, he is ripped to shreds. It's something for the ladies, I mean, not all ladies like these great big hulking, muscle-bound, built like a barn. And Bolo Yeung, you've got to see it to believe it. He is built like an absolute. He is just gargantuan. There's a fight scene, with I think his name's Moon, and which brother is it? Alex? No, Chad. I think it's Chad. It's a big fight scene with those, and and it's really good. It's really good. But Jean-Claude is absolutely ripped to shreds in this film. He's sort of, you've got Bolo Yeung there, who is built like a brick Kazi, and then you've got Van Damme there, who is also very, very muscular, ripped to shreds, sort of polar opposites, if you like. Van Damme is all lean and fighting fit, and Moon is just an absolute unit. He really is. So double impact, right, and the tagline is one packs a piece, the other pack, and one packs a punch. So I don't feel bad about giving away the ending, because with these sort of films, you know what you're getting, you know what's going to happen anyway. So, and it is 34 years old, so if you've not seen it by now, then that's entirely your fault, and I'll take no thingy for that. So yeah, so have a look, buy it on Amazon Prime or whatever one of the 8 trillion streaming things you can subscribe to now. Playing with the foil wrapper in my pocket, that's what that was. See, that's not professional, is it? Put that away, get that in there. Right, so yeah, Double Impact 1991, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Geoffrey Lewis, Bolo Yeung, Alan Scarf, who's got a very distinctive voice, and the rest of the cast put on an absolute blinder of a film. I want to say it's directed by John Woo as well. I want to say that. Overview, let's have a quick look. Oh no, it's not, pardon me, my mistake. It's directed by Sheldon Lettich, and written, produced by and starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's loosely based on another film as well, another story, but that's by the by. This one is still a really good story. It's a great film. It passes sort of an hour and a half, whatever it is, in a very pleasant kind of a way. So yeah, give it a watch. If you've seen it, let me know. If you've not seen it but want to see it, let me know. If you couldn't care less either way, do what you want to do, really. It's entirely up to you. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.